Do you have $500 right now to spend on a vase? How about $700? Me neither. Olive Atelier is a very popular name right now, especially in the home decor space. They source items from all across the globe that sometimes have been around for centuries. They're beautiful pieces with amazing origin stories, but let's be real, the price tag can be a little bit of a turnoff. So does that mean that we can't have a beautiful vase in our home? Absolutely not. Today, I'm taking a vase and using some DIY magic to make it look like an aged vessel. In total, the project cost me around $25, including the cost of the vase that I got off of Facebook Marketplace a few years ago. I've already prepped and painted the vase black, so we're gonna jump right into the aging process. So grab a vase, save your 500 bucks, and let's go make our own aged vessel. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is talk about all of the tools that I'm using to paint my vessel today. The first thing you'll notice are just some bowls. I'm gonna use these to mix up my paints. You can use whatever bowl you want. I had these on hand, so I'm using these. I also have a bowl of water. The paint I'm using today is the same paint that I used in my lamp video. I really love apple barrel paints. This is like one of the cheapest paint you can get at any store. My favorite shade of brown is nutmeg brown. I use this again on my lamp. I've used it on many other projects in my home. You just can't go wrong. I did buy the bigger version because I just always use it. I also just got the normal shade of white. I like getting whites because you can mix it in with other colors to lighten them, and just a great basic shade to have. The little one I have here is burnt umber. I really like burnt umber because it's like a deeper, richer brown. You can mix in with this brown, mix it in with the white. Just a great shade. The other white that I have here is actually called antique parchment. It's more of an off-white, a warmer white, and again, you can mix it in with either shades of brown to create a lighter shade. And you'll see I only have 4 shades here, but 4 shades are gonna go a long way because you can mix them and match them and just create so much dimension with just 4 paints. I also have popsicle sticks here just to mix up the paint with the baking soda. Again, my lamp video, I use the same technique with baking soda. It looks really cool. My favorite paintbrush to use is paper towels. You can use whatever paintbrush you want. You can even try using like a cloth or a rag. I really like the texture that paper towels create when applying, especially baking soda paint. Just a really good outcome. So let's mix up our paints and get started.
Stepping out of the shadow in my room, caught between cowboy.
All right, so to start, there's really not a method to my madness. It's kind of just whatever I'm feeling. The great thing about paint is you can always paint over it. If it starts looking terrible, paint over it. If you start hating what it looks like, paint over it. I'm gonna actually start out with my nutmeg brown. I'm gonna dip my paper towel in water. See how it's not like dripping wet? You just want it to be damp. We're just gonna dip and start painting. Just gonna dip it, kind of get the excess off, and just start dabbing. You'll see that it transfers paint, but it doesn't saturate it. You can still see the black through the brown. It's not just a flat color. That's what we're going for. I'm just gonna keep doing this mostly with just this brown. Then we'll start mixing in other tones, but this is going to be my foundation. All right, so that's the first layer done. You're probably looking at it saying, Taylor, that looks like a mess. And it kind of does, but trust the process. This is going to take shape. The more layers you do, the more depth and texture you add with additional paint shades, and that's what we're gonna do. The next shade I'm going to go in with is actually going to be a mix between antique white and the darker burnt umber. Same process, same technique. You're also gonna get it all over your hands, so if you're trying to stay clean, this project is not gonna work for you. Just keep that in mind. I'm gonna get some burnt umber, antique parchment. I'm gonna kind of mix it on the side of the bowl there, you can see. Now I'm just going to add that on. We don't wanna overdo it, but we definitely don't wanna skip this step because it really adds so much depth. This is probably where you're starting to doubt me and thinking that this is going to be the ugliest thing you've ever seen. But again, trust the process. We add layers, it looks better. So you can see how that really cooled down the tone of the vessel. Now it's a lot more dusty, more cool toned. We're gonna add back warmth because I really like warm tones in my decor. If you wanna stay on the cooler tone side, continue to use cooler tones in your paint. Layer on top, it's gonna look wonderful. I really like warm tones, so I'm actually gonna dip back down into my nutmeg brown and do another layer on top. You can probably tell the paint has dried down a lot now, so I'm actually gonna do round 2 now of paint. I'm starting off with my burnt umber color, just darker. I wanna add more depth back in. You can kind of see how it's starting to get a little flat in some areas, so I'm definitely gonna add back some depth with darker paint. Guys, I am not like an art person, okay? I don't know the correct words to use, but I know what I'm looking for, and this is, it's doing it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I am gonna leave little spots, like right here you can see it's a little lighter. I'm gonna leave that because again, we're going for an aged look. And if you look at aged vessels, they're not uniform colors all the way around. There's splotches, there's fading, there's chips and cracks, and since I'm going for that look, I don't wanna saturate the whole thing in one color. That's why I'm doing kind of patches. I don't want it to be super thick. So again, you can go in with water too and just dab on top. And it helps to spread it out more and thin it out, and it takes your paint further actually too, so you use less paint. Okay, so the vessel has dried almost completely. I realized there's a little bit more aging I can do. I really want to do a dirt bath, but it's not really going to show up on this dark paint very well. So I need to add a little bit of white. So I'm going to try it. I'm going rogue. I feel, you know, a little bit out of my comfort zone. If we absolutely hate it, we can always paint over it. So I'm using my antique parchment paint. I'm actually also going to water the paint down a little bit just to make it a little thinner. And then I'm going to take blank paper towel, move it around a little bit. I don't know about this. I'm trusting the process. This is fine. It's fine. This is fine. You know that meme where it's like this little dog sitting at the table and like the whole kitchen around him is engorged in flames, and he's just sitting there like, this is fine. I don't think this is that extreme, but that's kind of how I feel right now. Okay, you guys, great lesson, right? Do things that scare you because they'll turn out great. Actually don't. That's not great life advice, because sometimes scary things actually you shouldn't do. So don't. Scratch that. All I'm saying is that sometimes you just have to try something that is seemingly scary or different or weird and you don't know what the outcome's gonna be. You just gotta try it. I hope this is showing up on camera how it looks in person. This looks so cool. Now that this is dry, we are going to attempt to do a mud bath, dirt bath, whatever you want to call it. I've never tried it, so I don't know if it's even gonna look good. I just grabbed some potting soil from my patio and some water that we're gonna mix in. This is not clear because I was just painting. Start off with a little bit of water and we'll add more as we need it. So I'm gonna pour with that hand, kind of mix with this hand. Take a little bit of mud and I'm just gonna like smear it on. And I'm gonna do this all over the whole thing. I think I got everything. So I'm gonna clean up and let this dry and go from there. So I'm gonna go wash my hand. So I actually let it dry outside because we're in the middle of summer in Texas and the heat really helped to dry down the mud. So we're in a good place. I love the color, I love the texture, I really like how it's coming along, but we still have paint layers underneath that I also want to shine through. I have some rags, I have a scrubby brush, and I have some water. Kind of want to scuff off some of the dirt and mud in some areas just so the paint can shine through. That way we can see more layers and more texture, more depth, and all of that work that we did will not go to waste. I used a combination of the scrub brush, water, and the cotton rag to buff away spots of mud until I liked how it looked. Then, after everything dried again, I added a top coat using Rust-Oleum matte finish spray paint. This will ensure that remaining dirt and dust doesn't flake off. One final round of drying, and you're finally ready to find a spot in your home for your very own DIY aged vessel.
'Cause I'm always heading your way, and I know exactly what I'm looking for. And as we go, I'll keep running till I can't no more.
I'm really happy with how that turned out. I will not lie, there were a few moments while I was painting that I really thought it was going to turn out to be the ugliest thing I've ever seen. But it turned out really well. Super glad we made it. If you have any ideas for future projects, let me know in the comments down below. I'm always looking for great ideas. This is where I leave you. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Do you think my vase is worth $500? How about $700? Okay, that's pushing it.
You'll always still my breath.